Jour de match au TC Freisenbruch. Le club de 8e division allemande affronte le FC Krai. Un match a priori comme les autres en division semi-professionnelle, si ce n'est qu'il est suivi à travers le monde. Mais pourquoi ? Le TC Freisenbruch est une équipe de football dirigée par des centaines de managers via une plateforme en ligne. Gérer les finances du club, traiter les contrats des joueurs ou encore choisir la composition d'équipe, une expérience immersive qui permet aux fans d'entrer dans la peau du manager. Les supporters 2.0. À l'heure de la digitalisation et des réseaux sociaux hyper connectés, nous entrons et allons découvrir ce club de football pas comme les autres. Caché au beau milieu de la nature, avec son terrain en terre, sa buvette et le chant des oiseaux en fond sonore, bienvenue au Waldstadion Bergamsbusch, le quartier général du TC Freisenbruch. Depuis l'extérieur, rien de bien particulier. Pourtant c'est ici, dans le creux de la forêt de cette petite commune allemande, qu'a été mis en place un projet innovant pour le monde du football, Dein Club. Un projet qui a pourtant débuté pour sauver l'équipe de la faillite. Le TC Freisenbruch est un club de football semi-professionnel fondé en 1902. Il se situe dans la banlieue de la ville d'Essen, en Allemagne. Cette saison, il évolue en Kreisliga A, la 8e division allemande. En 2016, alors encore en 9e division, le TC Freisenbruch se trouve dans une période difficile. Les résultats sportifs ne suivent plus et la ville considère la fermeture définitive du club, qui n'est d'ailleurs plus vraiment dirigé par personne. Une idée naît, remettre le club entre les mains de ses supporters, afin qu'ils s'en occupent eux-mêmes. La possibilité pour les fans de s'investir et de diriger le club via une plateforme en ligne. Le projet est mis en place, à la tête de celui-ci, un homme, Peter Schaffer, qui est aujourd'hui l'entraîneur de l'équipe.
Yeah, it was a very hard time for the club, and the club was nearly at the end. We have no money here in the club, and we are playing on this rough ground, and that's very difficult for us because the other teams, the surrounding teams, are playing on synthetic grass pitches, and they have better infrastructure. So we have to change a lot to climb up and to make a turnaround for the club. And that's why we had those crazy ideas with a Facebook campaign and with the project we are doing right now. And it works.
Ils ont donc mis en place une plateforme en ligne qui donne les clés de la gestion du club à ses supporters. 2 ans après le début du projet, c'est aujourd'hui plus de 700 managers virtuels qui sont confrontés chaque jour à différents types de choix concernant l'équipe et ses joueurs, la gestion marketing ou encore financière de celle-ci.
This is how I work with the platform. Before the season starts, you have the chance to vote about the budget of the club for what you want to invest the money that the club have. If you want to invest more in marketing, or if you want to invest more in merchandising for fans. Often in the forum is very interesting for me because the people can write their thinkings, and we're discussing about what we can do with some player contracts maybe, or with influencer marketing we are thinking about actually. It's about finance, what can we make better on the platform, and I like to discuss with our managers. We are over 755 team managers. I see somebody from China who's always voting, but also in America, Austria, Germany, of course.
The idea is very cool for football fans, to manage a real club, not in a computer game, but in real life. But there were similar projects in the past in different countries. And of course we saw them, but the other projects were not so good. There was not enough transparency and not enough to do for the managers. They can't decide about the lineup or something. Only unimportant things could be decided by the managers, and so we said that we can make it better maybe, and we try our best to do it. Of course, time's running by, and so maybe it's good for us now that, for example, smartphones make it easier to manage the club while sitting at the bus station or something. So you're more flexible with your time as an online manager.
Dine Club est un succès sportif pour le TC Freisenbruch. L'année qui suit l'instauration du projet voit le club gagner sa division et passer de la Kreisliga B à la Kreisliga A. Mais au-delà de l'aspect sportif, le projet attire aussi les regards de différentes personnes à travers l'Allemagne et le continent européen. Si bien que des marques comme Nike ou le site de paris sportif X-Tip décident de les sponsoriser.
We are playing in the 8th division now, and normally 8th division clubs are not so interesting for sponsors outside of the a local town or the surrounding cities. For us, it's very interesting to see, and it's another crazy thing for us. What happened that we have now sponsors from other cities all over Germany, and we have even sponsors from Austria, and that's kind of strange, but it's a very positive effect for the club.
Si ce sont les managers virtuels qui prennent les décisions en ligne, il faut qu'ils puissent faire des choix éclairés. Alors la majeure partie du travail des membres locaux consiste à faire en sorte que la plateforme soit fournie de contenu traitant de la vie au club, des informations récentes à propos de celui-ci et des entraînements de l'équipe. Cela passe souvent par des capsules vidéo.
1, 2, 3.
Okay, herzlich willkommen hier wieder aus dem Busch zum Kabinengespräch. Ich freue mich heute, den Mannschaftskapitän mal wieder hier zu haben, den Schafstoff, der Peter und auch schon ein bekanntes Gesicht.
Cette fois-ci, la discussion tourne autour de la préparation au match de ce dimanche contre le FC Krai, mais également sur un possible partenariat avec un youtubeur pour l'image du club. Ces sujets ont été abordés ou le seront ensuite sur la plateforme par les managers en ligne.
And we have different kind of votings for the fan shop. A new thermo cup, so you can choose the price and the design. When we have a new person on the transfer market, we can look at the strengths of him, of the weaknesses. I also can see where he already is playing, how his stats was. When I can show an interview with the coach, an interview with the player, if he really wants to come to TC Freisenbruch. We have a new person on Transfermarkt called Patrick Blum. 100% of the managers want him to buy.
There are so many special things we have to deal with, so there are often situations where we talk about it, and so I can feel it, I can hear it. The players are talking about it, and they think about it, and they work in another way in many situations. So it starts with the performance tests. They are very motivated. They are always followed by many eyes, and that's a different thing to other clubs in our league. So they can do whatever they want to do. They can come to training whenever they want to, and so the performance is not so important in training. Here they have to make a good performance in training to be voted. I can always see how much the fans trust in me, and I think in professional sports it's the same. So if the people like you as a coach, then they're singing your name in the stadium, and if they don't want you any longer, then you will feel it too. Maybe it's a little bit fairer, because professional coaches, they are hired and fired between one night, and one day earlier the chairman said in interviews that the coach trust is high, and one day later he is fired. That is not possible in our way, so maybe it's more fairer to the coach.
Ja, mache ich. Ich bin Anspieler.
We do many performance tests in the training. That's different to other amateur clubs. And of course we gave some power to the online managers, so it's not always our decision as coaches. The lineup and tactic and the exercises in training.
Dans un système de fonctionnement comme celui-ci, où le rôle du coach est fortement réduit, nous pourrions nous demander s'il n'est pas devenu dispensable. L'équipe peut-elle fonctionner sans coach? Peter Schaffer a son avis sur la question.
I think that would be difficult, because at first the lineup is mostly nearly the same, like I would do it. So the thing for the players is that they have to impress me, that I will give the video message with their name, and the other thing is that a little bit of discipline and other things you need in the training. I think there has to be somebody who makes it with the team, to deal with the team.
My name is Steve Feind, and I joined almost 2.5 years ago. At first it was quite difficult because it's new, others decide the selection, but after a few weeks, months, you get used to it.
En effet, être un joueur du TC Freisenbruch est un peu différent des autres équipes. Chacun d'entre eux possède un profil consultable sur la plateforme qui reprend toutes les caractéristiques générales du joueur, ses statistiques, les détails de ses entraînements et matchs, des liens vers les actualités le concernant, ainsi que les détails de son contrat comme par exemple son salaire ou la durée restante sur celui-ci. Les managers en ligne gèrent les contrats des joueurs et peuvent reconstruire l'équipe chaque saison. Ils doivent voter quel joueur garder et qui faire partir. Tout joueur en fin de contrat, obtenant moins de 60% des votes, ne peut plus être retenu dans l'équipe pour la saison suivante. À la fin de l'entraînement, des capsules vidéo sont enregistrées pour résumer comment il s'est déroulé. Le coach parle alors de ses impressions et donne ses conseils pour le choix de 11 de base pour le match.
Vor allem, wenn du berufliche Hintergründe hast, da kannst du halt einfach im Amateurbereich auch nichts gegen sagen. Das ist völlig klar, da habe ich auch Verständnis für. Dann auch die ersten Leute kommen, dann ist das immer sehr frustrierend, wenn dann so eine Nachricht nach der anderen noch eintrudelt und die Jungs so nach und nach absagen.
Danke für deine Worte.
Ich lag gerade Handy, ne? Ich lag gerade Handy, sag ich.
Il est déjà 22h Mais ils doivent finir de mettre toutes les vidéos en ligne sur la plateforme pour les managers avant de terminer la journée.
HDMI-Kabel müssten wir noch haben, ne?
Do you get the feeling of managing a real club as an online manager, or does it feel more like a video game?
Probably a little bit of both. So I think the way the website works is very much like a video game. It's learned from that, and it's the way you do the controls are very digitally based. So it's not like you're telling someone what to do in real life, but then actually the content feels like real life. Like you learn so much about the players and you can see so much of real football that it doesn't feel like a video game. And there's a lack of control that you wouldn't have in a video game. I also think the amount of time it takes. So when you're playing something like Football Manager, you can play like 10 games in an hour. Whereas with Freisenbruch, you have to wait once or twice a week for the games to happen. So that grounds it very much in reality and really, it makes you feel like you're part of a real experience. The other thing that's probably worth noting is you're very much part of a team. So it's almost similar to how politics works, I think, where it doesn't feel like you're the manager, but you're part of a bigger group that's voting for what the manager does.
How much involvement does it require from you on the platform?
So the platform, I'd say, it kind of depends how deep you want to go, because you can really, if you really wanted to learn everything about every single player, you could sit on it for hours and find out about every training session. But at the same time, you can go on quite a light level, like you could go on the day before every game and engage and just make the smaller decisions. So I think really it kind of depends on the person. I think for me, I quite like going on it like just maybe a couple of times a week and like checking the results and seeing how players are developing. But it's not really more than like half an hour a week, really.
Okay. And do you consider that you have access to enough data online on the platform to make wise decisions?
Yeah, I think so. It's interesting. So when I first started, the game was a bit more limited, so that you didn't have as much footage of the games, and you didn't have the same footage of their training. But now it's really developed to a point where you can learn a lot about the players, and being able to watch every game, it's really for me a position that helps me make decisions, I think, and I think make good ones.
Do you blame yourself a bit maybe when the team lose? Because maybe you could have voted something else. And
I could have made different decisions. I think so. I think also what happens sometimes is there's things that are a little bit... So there's a little bit of that when the team do badly. There's also certain things like... I think I probably feel more guilty when certain players' contracts aren't renewed, because it's quite easy for things like that. And I think you can be quite critical on the game or on the online server when deciding things like that, but that's actually someone's profession. And if the team end up doing badly because of that, actually some things that seem like quite small decisions on the software actually have quite a big impact. So they mean players can't play for the team anymore. It also means that the team are losing, and I think then you start to feel a responsibility. So I think it's a really, really interesting concept, because essentially at the moment, when you look at something like the Premier League, fans are becoming less and less significant. They're getting further away from the club, and the players are getting paid so much that decisions become more about finance than they do about the people following the club, or how their team affects them. So really putting the position of control, or giving the fans a position of control again, is a really interesting idea. How effective it is, I think theoretically it should make a lot of sense that lots of different opinions, lots of subjective opinions can come together to make one objective opinion. And because that essentially, the more people that agree with something, the more true something should be. But I think in reality, when it comes to doing things like motivating players or coming up with tactics, that might be better to be done in person and actually having one real expert rather than lots of amateur views.
Ja, Heimspiel, alles wie gehabt. Wir sind immer noch ungeschlagen, soll so weitergehen. Na? FC Krai ist natürlich jetzt ein Gegner, habe ich jetzt auch schon mehrfach über die Woche erzählt, wo man nie so richtig weiß, was da auf einen zukommt. Wir können jetzt seit dem 1. April Spieler aus der A-Jugend einsetzen. Die A-Jugend ist sehr stark.
Drin, so, raus.
Hast du verdient.
Ich hätte extra reingeschnitten. Extra noch mal ins Paar rein.
Les supporters sont bel et bien présents ce dimanche. Jour de match au TC Freisenbruch. Le club de 8e division allemande affronte le FC Krai. Un match a priori comme les autres en division semi-professionnelle, si ce n'est qu'il est suivi à travers le monde. Mais comment ? Un partenaire sponsor a installé des caméras avec détecteurs de mouvement aux abords du terrain afin de permettre de filmer le match qui est retranscrit en streaming sur internet. Le lien du streaming et le score en direct apparaissent sur la plateforme pour les managers en ligne.
Wir haben auch einen.
Le score final du match sera de 4-3. Une bonne opération pour le TC Freisenbruch avec 3 points d'encoché au classement. Les managers en ligne peuvent désormais aller voter leur homme du match sur la plateforme et donner leur note aux joueurs.
In Germany, we have a big discussion between the football fans in the country that, the professional football clubs are getting a bigger distance to their own fans. So our way is the other way around. We are very close to our fans and online managers, and they can decide everything and they can talk about everything. And so I think that it's a good way. In our league it works, and why shouldn't it work in upper leagues?